like
right triangles.
wait, what?
The Pythagorean theorem.
What about it?
You know how it's that?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, did you know that the Greeks actually thought of it in geometric terms rather than numerical terms?
So what?
They thought of it as the area of this square plus the area of that square equals the area of that square. So they thought of it geometrically instead of...
I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Is that what you... Saturday nap?
No, I learned it last night.
Doing what?
Reading that really big book.
What book?
God Created the Integers. Like it's like compiled of like...
God Created the Integers?
Yeah, it's like a compilation of like different, those like different math book thingies and stuff. Also, they found out that the square of 2 was irrational because of a lot of things. And they...
Like what?
You want me to explain it?
Sure.
Okay. Well, the Pythagoreans thought that every number can be expressed as a fraction, and that made up the entire number system. And then somebody presented the idea that if the square root of 2 could be expressed as a fraction or a ratio of P and Q, so square root of 2 equals P over Q, right? The ratio. Then 2 would equal P squared over Q squared just by squaring everything. Which means that that equals that if you multiply it by Q2. Q to the second power. That means that P squared, if they're whole integers, right? If they're whole integers,
right,
then P squared is an even number because it's twice Q2. And since P squared is even, that means that P must be even. So if you have P, this has an even number of units and this is even.
Okay.
And Q is half of that.
Right.
You know, because of this. You can...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's half of it. This is just drawing it out.
Yeah.
And then you like... But then if you take a fourth of this by cutting this in half and making square T... See? Square T, it's a fourth of that.
Mm-hmm.
That means that if this is a fourth of P and this is half of P, then this is half of Q, which means that Q is also an even number. Because if Q is an even square, then Q has to be an even number. So if P and Q are both even, then that means that they can be simplified. But that's impossible if they're already simplified whole integers. And you can basically just keep going forever and ever, assuming these are all whole integers and it doesn't reach 1, by saying that if Q is even, then you can take half of it and make another square. And that means that if T is half of Q, T is twice this little square, so T is even. And you keep going smaller and smaller, and it's all even, and you can't simplify it anymore. So that's how they found out that it can't be expressed as a fraction, and it's an irrational number.
Did you draw those?
Yeah. What?
I'm just looking at
them.
them.
They're just little people.
Okay.
Also, do you know what a perfect number is?
What book did you check out from the library yesterday?
Do you want me to get it?
No, just tell me the name.
It's called God Created the Integers with
Why do you
It's-
like math so much anyway?
Because it's fascinating. Look at that.
It's boring and I didn't understand one.
You didn't
Single
understand
thing.
anything I said?
Nothing. No, Natalie, zero. Zilch. Like, you could have told me
Okay.
to describe the color blue.
Do you know what a perfect number is?
Ugh. No. I'm sorry to say
It's
it.
pretty simple. Basically, it's a number. Do you know what a divisor is?
No.
So, 6, how do you get 6 with multiplication? You can do 1 times 6,
Uh-huh.
or 2 times 3,
You're way
or 3
smarter than
times
me.
2, or 6 times 1. So, the divisors are 1, 2, 3, and 6.
Uh-huh.
A perfect number, if you have a perfect number, then you can take the divisors and excluding itself and add them up. So 6's divisors are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Excluding 6, you can add up all the divisors and it will equal itself. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6.
Okay.
So it's a perfect number.
All right.
Another perfect number is 28. 14, 7, 4, 2, and 1.
All right.
I forget what the
Why
other
do
ones
you
are,
care
but there's
about
not a
this
lot.
stuff?
But no mathematician has ever disproved the fact that there's an odd perfect number.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that?
Maybe, I don't know. Depends.
All right.
So yeah, that's
That's what
why
That's
two-
what you're doing on a Saturday.
well, kind of, yeah. But that's why that it's irrational. And actually, the Pythagoreans, they were like
Who were the Pythagoreans?
some group of people or something, I don't know, a bunch of mathematicians at
Okay.
like some university by the Nile River. I don't know. Something
By the Nile.
Yeah, by the Nile. But when they found out that, because they thought that everything was like rational, that it can be expressed as a fraction. So when they found out that this couldn't be expressed as a fraction, they were like, we can't tell anybody. But then they found out that one of their members did tell somebody, so they threw him overboard on a ship.
They did.
And he was the first martyr of math.
A martyr for math.
Yeah.
He died for math.
He
He sacrificed his life
He
for
didn't
math.
sacrifice his life, but he was killed because he leaked this information that the square root of 2 is
Oh
irrational.
my gosh, math is so stupid.
It like broke their whole world though. And then they had to find some new way to base everything off of, because they couldn't base it off of the fact that everything was a fraction, because that
Right.
wasn't true. So they based it off
Can you make me a
geometry.
grilled cheese sandwich?
I have to pack.
I want to watch a movie.
What movie? What?
Pride and Prejudice. You
Pride
want
and
to watch it?
Prejudice?
Yeah. You want to watch it?
I have to pack though.
Did you get the list?